Rob, next game I want to talk about. This isn't a game that I have a bet on, but what I think the handicap is really interesting, and it almost entirely boils down to what to make of the New Orleans Saints this year. They're a 5.5 point road favorite against Atlanta. I feel like the entire offseason, this has been a very tricky team to try to rate or, like just put into a tier effectively. Should our expectation be playoffs? Should it be 500? Should we have no expectations because it's Dennis Allen and Jameis Winston and who knows, and still a talented roster, but just a tough team, I think, to know what to do with. And they're a pretty big road favorite on Sunday, which is kind of interesting. So New Orleans 5.5, total 42.5 at BetMGM. What's your bet for Saints and Falcons?
So I will say this in regards to the Saints. I think there's a very wide range on what they could be. If the offensive line holds up, I think they'll be a very good football team this year. If it doesn't, it could go be a disaster, and you see Jameis Winston morph back into the form of 2 to 3 years ago, where he's just a turnover machine. So very wide range. I like the total in this game. It has moved. I'll be, full disclosure. It's actually still moving right now towards the over. As I talk to you guys, I still like the over. I made this 44.5. That's on the opposite side of the key number of 44. I really do not. I view the Atlanta Falcons particularly as an over team this year because I don't think that they're going to be able to pressure the quarterback in any scenario. You look at the strength of that defense, it's at cornerback. Doesn't really matter when your best interior or your best player in the front seven is Grady Jarrett, who's coming off a down year. Like, they're really going to struggle to get after the quarterback. So in my opinion, the Saints' potential weakness of offensive line is mitigated here by the fact that they are facing a defense that can't really expose that. Jameis Winston was having the best season of his career last year until he got hurt. I think there's opportunity for him to pick apart this defense. Lots of weapons for the Saints offense this year. On the other side of things, I don't really put too much stock into preseason. I kind of like the opportunity Mariota had going into this year, but that first team offense, whether it was with Mariota or Ritter in the preseason, looked fairly good. I think there's going to be a game state here where Atlanta is trailing. They do have to open it up a bit. They will play fast. Mariota will scramble with his legs. I'm particularly high on the Saints defense this year, but I do think that this is a game where we can see both teams score into the 20 points. So I like the over here. I mean, rush and bet it now, I guess, is if you still have a 42.5 on the board. 43 is still fine. There's not a big difference between those numbers.
And like 40, just Rob, I want you to say this, not me. 43.5. If people see that, like if they're looking at it tonight, 43.5 is still okay for you?
100%. Yes.